Alrighty, guys. Good day. After 3 days of pads, kind of went through some situational mastery, get preparing for a scrimmage on Saturday, which will be a great evaluation tool for us. With that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
So you are scrimmaging on Saturday, yes?
Yes, we are. We'll be here. And it'll be our first scrimmage practice.
Situational scrimmage?
We'll end up doing about 6 individual periods, warm them up, and then we are going to put the ball down and play a little bit.
How do you plan on splitting the quarterback reps?
They'll be evenly distributed out between the 1s and 2s, between the 4 quarterbacks, and try to get equal reps for each kid, both going with the 1s and the 2s.
I know after this play, would you want to trim that competition down a little bit, or?
We're going to go through the 17th and be able to see every cue and evaluate them and allow them to compete, and allow them to get better, and allow them to progress.
How important is the scrimmage situation to evaluate the quarterbacks?
Extremely important. When the live bullets come, we factor in everything as we're breaking down our stats from one-on-one to scale. Really the team periods mean the most to us, because that's when the bullets fly and that's when pressures come, coverage recognition. So it's very important to see them in those live atmospheres. So both this Saturday and next Saturday are critical for us in evaluation.
Talk about situational mastery with Ben Pooch punting. Does that give you situational mastery?
There's no
little boost.
Yeah, I mean, I've said in the spring, I really think that the guy's a weapon now. He's going into his first college game, but he's played at the pro level in the NFL, and I don't think those jitters or anything's going to get him. He's walked out here in these situations, and he really is mind-blowing what he can do with the ball. And our kids to be able to know exactly where that ball's going to be every time.
Have you ever seen a guy that could drop?
Not in my 25 years. Not that special a leg. He's a joy to watch right now, and now we got to carry it over to the game.
Anything you've learned about that quarterback group? I know it's only been a week, but
yeah. The biggest thing I've learned about them is I appreciate each and every one of them, because they compete and they're not afraid of competition, and they push each other. But then, and when they get up into the meeting room and they're hanging around the guys, man, they're all supporting each other. They laugh. They're helping each other, teaching each other. And so when you talk about ultimate teammates, those 4 kids are, and it's been a pleasure to watch them compete, but also maintain a room that it supports and roots each other on.
How important is it, like having the officials here, kind of building a rapport? I mean, you had David Golden here today.
Yeah.
How important is that?
I think it's really important. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we went into spring saying, this year's got to be about us. About not making the critical errors that cost us those 4 games down the stretch that we lost. Very close ball games, 7 points or less, where we felt that we made the mistakes, and it was penalties and turnovers. And so we spent the 15 practices in spring, each practice with referees out here. You saw this camp thus far every day they've been out here. The head of officials, David Coleman, here addressing our team in our team meeting, going over some of the new rules so our kids understand the situations. But that rapport to get real-time information, I think, is invaluable to our kids, so they can actually develop a relationship with the ref and say, hey, what did I do wrong there? You teach me, and so they hear it from them, because in game situations things go so quick and emotions are so high, you don't have time to hear exactly what goes on. You're getting to the next play. So to be able to take the time and listen to them and learn from them has been invaluable.
Is this team ahead or behind in any areas than last year after 1 week?
I think right now I really like where our offensive line is. I think we have a 2 deep right now that I think really can lead our football team, and very pleased with them. The one area that we're going to continue to grow, gosh, they're talented. They're just young, though, is our DB group, and the inexperience there. Every rep is going to count for that bunch. I mean, you saw some young kids make some great plays today. Chris Steele makes a great play on the deep ball today. You've seen Greg Johnson really develop over this camp. OG, Elijah Griffin, has done a wonderful job. ITS had a little bit of a groin today, but he's had a good camp. Those kids may have some growing pains early, but that's probably the biggest area of development that we're going to have.
Elijah was talking about how in the spring he called it the worst time of his life while he was recovering from his shoulder surgeries. Could you tell the he was kind of down during that stretch because he couldn't be out here?
Yeah, I've had to deal with it personally with my own son. And labrum tears are hard. They're 6-month recovery process. And one of the things that we had was Isaiah Polamalu had gone through the same thing with both shoulders, and here's Elijah Griffin that has. So we have support around him, but it's hard when you play the game your whole life and have never really been hurt, and then you have 2 shoulder surgeries that are both 6-month rehabs, and you can't play the game, and you're that much of a competitor. Yeah, it's really tough, and it's something that if the game's not there, a lot of kids get down, and he fought his way through it, and now you can see him bouncing around here, and he is the old OG. I mean, he's just happy as a lark every day.
Those injuries, is that something you guys just noticed after the season?
No, it's some of the things
check,
that we know coming in when we do our medical exam. So, I mean, like we knew Isaiah when he came in had loose shoulders. We actually invested in year 1 to get one of them done, and then the other one was loose and got hurt in Stanford and needed to do it. So Elijah was able to make it through the season, and then we went ahead and repaired both of them. Just some kids come in with different injuries from high school, and it's better to go ahead and get them fixed with us, let them to fully heal so they can have the best college experience.
Clay, with this offense, do you anticipate having to use more linemen than you've used in the past?
I think we're going to have to go at them everywhere in all positions. You see us training right now 8 different receivers, 3 different tight ends. I think we're going to have to use multiple linemen too to be able, when you're garnering the amount of reps that this offense can do, 80, 90, 100 reps, you want to be at your best. I'll always remember the great luxury of getting to watch Coach Calipari coach when he was at Memphis and then go on to Kentucky. And I remember his best teams, he would just send in waves, and it never, the pace and the tempo and the aggressiveness never let up the entire game. So that's why we're training a lot of people right now. That's why you see us working 3 groups right now up until the 17th to be able to try to train as many as we can to perform in live games.
We saw some movement with the DBs. Greg Johnson playing nickel. Was that just cross training, or is that just different moves?
Yeah, we want to be able to cross train some kids. You'll see. You remember Chase Williams had a great game versus Notre Dame at safety, and his availability to be a nickel or a safety is important. Greg Johnson, who's a very smart, intelligent player, his ability to play corner and nickel. To be able to double train some kids could get you out of a really tight jam in a very close game if you had an injury. So we deal in worst case scenarios. We just don't hope for the best, but we try to plan for those situations that may come up where an injury happens and at least a guy has been trained that has great experience at it.
I noticed the defense were communicating with each other off the field, supporting each other after they make it. What do you make of the intensity they brought today?
Yeah, I commended them over there because I really thought they came with a very business-like attitude. We hit some big plays yesterday offensively, and they really glued in, looked at the mistakes that were made, and came out here business-like in a helmets practice and really got after it, which was nice to see. How about you finish up?
Yeah, defense is doing a great job out here, ripping the ball, creating turnovers.
Yes.
Any concern on your part, though, with how many times the ball's ending up on the ground?
Right now, we want as many strip attempts as we can, and we've got some young players that are learning what it means to hold on to the ball, especially the rookies. I don't think they've ever had the ball ripped out by an EA before, or a Talanoa. They're learning what college football is about, and that's a good thing. But the biggest thing for us is we've really preached to our kids that we want those strip attempt opportunities. We're counting the numbers each day, and it's great to see it paying off right now, and hopefully it'll pay off in the games now. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.